You come here, and how many people have to shout at you, and how many people have to say, please don't do this, before you listen?
Well, as you can imagine, I have lots of people saying that, lots of people saying the other, and lots of people in the middle. But the issue, I think, also is about many of the issues that were raised in the town hall meetings. One certainly was the concern about fiscal responsibility and debt. We have cut $300 billion out of the original bill.
Not enough.
Wait, I have to be honest with you. Why don't you let my daughter? She's 20 years old and she'll be saddled with this particular tax.
We are too.
Well, let me ask you. She's only 20.
Sure. I can just listen. That's fine. Go ahead.
Well, no, actually, I just so you're in favor of the bill as it stands right now?
No, I'm still not a yes on the bill, but I've said all along I'm a no, trying to get to yes. I'm much more comfortable with the current bill.
Let's keep it as a no. Stand as no.
Well,
I try to be really upfront with folks about where I am on things, and I can tell you the
right
things.
now, you're a no.
I've moved from no to undecided, so.
Let me ask you a question.
If you've read the bill and you don't believe it's unconstitutional, do you believe it'll benefit Virginia?
It doesn't matter.
I think that several things. First of all, I think that the current system, I think most of our rural hospitals will go bankrupt under the status quo. I think small business is being crushed by premium increases, so are families. I think the answer is competition. I like interstate competition, as you know. I've been fighting for that.
But it's not in the bill.
It's not in the bill. It's a disappointment in the bill. But we won on the rural reimbursements, a major shift that's been there for decades now that disadvantages rural hospitals and doctors over big cities. This is a major step in the right direction that could mean keeping the doors open on those hospitals.
How about tort reform?
Tort reform, we've got our first foot in the door. I fought hard for it. The first federal pilot projects on this
all the time.
that are moving.
The bill is changing every hour.
The hospitals out because abortion is in the bill.
The abortion fight is one we're still fighting for, and I've been very clear on my position on that. That's one of the things that...
If abortion is in the bill, are you going to vote for it?
I will not vote for a bill that includes federal funding for abortions. I've said that.
You're saying yes when you're saying no, but your voice is saying
and I will say,
yes.
so if the answer is yes, I will not. Do I nod or do I shake?
Say no, you will not.
No, I will not vote for a bill that includes federal funding for abortions. I've been fighting very hard for that, frankly, and
that's... You got to know you will not vote for the bill, period.
You cannot get that from me.
We don't America.
You have a lot of power.
Because
the Democrats that are about to vote have a tremendous amount of power. You may think that saying no on this bill is saying no to health care, but it's not. Saying no at this particular time gives those Democrats who have a voice, who want something different, to make that change. When you go, if you vote no, do you think that the Democratic Party is going to give up on health care? No, they're not. They're going to start to address some of your concerns. I don't think anyone is in here and saying, hey, give us health care reform exactly the way that we want. We just want people to understand that certain things need to be heard. And you guys have a tremendous amount of power, probably more power right now than you're going to have in the rest of your term or whatever terms are to come. Because the majority, a greater portion of your party or your leadership wants this done now. By standing up and saying no, they're not going to give up. They're going to give in to your wishes and help you and help everyone craft a bill that's going to fit Americans.
Can I ask a question? If there's all this push, if everybody just pedal to the metal, we got to pass this thing. You guys are going to vote on it tomorrow, from what I understand.
Not tomorrow.
Saturday. If there's this big, huge rush and it's the house is going to come crashing down if we don't do it, why the hell isn't it implemented until 2013?
Exactly right.
Part of a couple of things. I mean,
so Obama can get reelected. Is that why?
To the gentleman's point about the issue of pedal to the metal versus taking a breath. As you know, a lot of us helped block this in July because we wanted to take time on it. Now, I don't expect that even if we sat down and wrote a bill together, we would ever agree what it would look like. But what I think we have seen, again, is about 30% of the cost of the bill reduced. It's balanced now not only in the first decade, but the second decade. In the first decade, you can play lots of games with the numbers and accounting tricks. That's why it was important for many of us that it reduces the deficit in the second decade by over $100 billion. So is it creating more competition? Well, the interstate competition is part of the key. and that's one I lost on, and I'm not going to win it. I don't see anything changing on that before Saturday, and that's a big issue for me, as is the abortion issue. But on the issue of right now, what I feel is one of the real problems, whether it's small business or individuals, is that all of us are paying for the cost of the uninsured already. That cost gets shifted over through higher premiums, over $1,000 extra a year. The
I would
economist
like to make a point about that. I was uninsured for years because I couldn't afford it. When I had to go and have medical attention, I simply paid for it. That was my job. Nobody else in this room was responsible for taking that. Why should I be?
But
That's the worst part about this. You're telling me that now I took responsibility for my life. Now I'm going to get to take responsibility for others.
I'm telling you that's what already happens.
It doesn't. How many people like me?
Well, that may be true of you, but every hospital in our district loses an enormous percentage of their income from the uninsured, and they will not change that. But all I'm saying is the status quo right now is that you are paying for the cost of the uninsured.
And
so the issue right now is we are not...
Let me fix that. You do. Government has never been able to fix these things. All you do is cost us money.
Now look at Catherine Clunkers, and now you want to run her health care?
The clock is at 0, and so I do need to go vote. I really do.
Social Security is the biggest kindness thing of ever.
To write these letters from Nigel Coleman, the chairman of the Democratic Party. This is a 2-page letter from me. We'd like for you to reconsider our thoughts, and we're going to give you this pen from the Danville Tea Party, We the People.
Thank you.
And I want you to think of that when you vote. Because, as I said in my letter, you don't see hundreds of thousands of people coming out into the streets of D.C. or across the country to say, oh, please vote for this. It's wonderful. You don't see anybody doing that.
All you do is getting...
How are you going to pay for this? You're going to take billions away from Medicare.